great news from our channel sponsors, the fogofwargames.co.uk. They're offering all of our channel subscribers 10% discount on top of their already discounted products, with free UK delivery on all orders over £50. Just head to their website and enter the ministry into the discount code box on checkout, and you will get your discount and help support the channel. Hello and welcome to the Ministry of Miniatures, and today we've got a very special battle report. I'm being joined by Olaf and we are doing a Chain of Command version 2 battle report. So as you can see here, we've got our basic army set up, we've got the rules, we've got everything set up ready to go, and we are basing this battle in northern Italy. So I'll go through the table, I'll go through the forces, and we're going to roll for what we're going to have as support options. But there we go, this is the table for today. Let's have a look in a bit more detail. Okay, we've got an orchard here, we've got some light cover that runs along the roads. The roads go up the middle to a crossroads, as you can see here. There are some craters, they're just a bit of eye candy really. We've got a ploughed field with a fence going around the outside. We do have a building, there's a small building there which is part of a barn for the side of the farm. There's a hedge here again, will be light cover. There's some hard cover on these walls. But that's pretty much it. We've got some wheat fields at the side here, again light cover, and this will be tough to get through, won't it? It'll take time, slow us down a bit, and there's one on the opposite side there, just to slightly balance it a bit. But there we go. This is our board and our first game on camera for Chain of Command. Okay, so the battle we're playing today is from the rule book. It's the first one on their patrol. We're just going to go through and try and work through these scenarios so that we can learn the rules as we go. But this mission is very much around the classic encounter in No Man's Land. We're not trying to get an objective in any way. What we need to do is just try and beat the morale of the opponent and get them off the board. So the objective here is very much around getting the opponent down to losing one of their command dice. So to get started, we will have some support, which will, perhaps Olaf can roll that shortly, and then both players roll to get 1d3 Chain of Command points to start with. So I'm going to roll for my Chain of Command points, which is 2, which gives me 1.
I got 3.
Which gives you 2. And then if you roll for the support points, 6. So,
That's 4, I think.
wow, now on a roll of 5 to 6, they can select 6 points of support.
Ooh, nice.
So very good. So 6 points of support to add to our armies. We'll do that before we show our forces. Okay, so just before we get started, Olaf's Italians are going to roll for their force morale. And you've got a 1.
Which is an 8.
Very fitting. Okay, and then let's see what the British can get. I've got a 4.
Which equates to a 10.
A 10, brilliant. So there we go. We have got our force morale sorted out. We're both on 0 rating. So before we get on to working out where we're going to start our deployment phase from, we are going to look at the 2 armies, and we've already allocated our points. So we'll do the Italians first and then over to the British. Okay, so here we go. First up is Olaf's brand new Italian army, fit and raring to go. So over to you.
We have Mercer is a tenente with a pistol, so that's a senior leader. Then next up, Karolak, who is a senior inferior leader with a rifle. He has under him 2 LMG sections, each made up of an LMG with 2 crew and 2 riflemen. So 2 crew, 2 rifles, 2 crew, 2 rifles.
Okay.
And there are also identical under Grey Wolf, which is again a inferior senior leader, LMG with 2 crew, 2 rifles, LMG, 2 crew and 2 rifles.
Yep.
And then we have a junior leader, Krabacher, who is junior leader with rifle and 10 rifles, the Fucilieri, and Strutz has the same as well.
Very nice.
I have picked under my support an adjutant and a sniper, Lucky Ralf. And then we have here...
It makes me want to say, you feeling lucky punk? Lucky Ralf is a sniper.
And Knispel is a Gruppo Esploratori, which is a scout team who are basically just a caporale and 5 rifles, but no leadership whatsoever. So they activate just as a team.
Very nice. So that's a lot of troops and a lot of firepower against my British. But
they're Italians with low morale.
yes, let's hope so, eh? So let's have a look at my British. Okay, here we go. This is my British force. So I have got Professor Pius. He has left his college where he teaches to come and be the lieutenant senior leader in charge of the British Army. He has a pistol, don't you know? Grizzly is my sergeant for today, also a senior leader. I then have a Piat crew, which are these ones here, and Jensen is one of my 2-inch mortars. I've also, with my support points, bought another 2-inch mortar, but I'll come to that in a second. Then I have got 3 identical rifle sections. So Red Bull is the junior leader with 6 rifles and an LMG team, which is 2 rifles and the LMG, and that's replicated. So I've got Jono, who's our new patron. Welcome, Jono. He is Sergeant Jono, in charge of these 6 rifles in the section and the section Bren team. And then Murphy, from the Irish contingent, is Sergeant Murphy, or Corporal Murphy it would be, wouldn't it? In charge of 6 rifles again and the LMG team. So with my support points, as I said, I got a 2-inch mortar team. I also got Wheelie, who's going to be my sniper team, and I got 2 replen points as well. So feels a bit smaller than your army, but let's see what happens. So we are going to get ready for the start of the patrol phase.
Patrol phase, yeah.
Okay, so before we start the patrol phase, each side needs to roll 1d6, and it's basically, there are some points set up, as you can see here. So 1 and 2 is the 1, 2, 3 and 4 would be the 2 for me, and then 5 and 6 would be 3. But if you want to go first, as the Italians, so it's a D3 and 6. So you're going to be over on that far corner. Sounds good?
Yep.
And then for the British, 6. I'm going to put you on this far corner, right in the orchard, so that's nice. So let's get ready and see where we start. Okay, so here we go in the patrol phase. We've both elected, on this one we can elect for 3 or 4. I've gone for 3. I've stacked them right on the edge of the 2 foot for my part of the board. And it looks like Olaf's doing something very similar with his Italian patrol phase markers. So there we go. I do have the biggest, largest force morale. So I'll be going first. I don't think we're going to film this because this might take a little while. So we'll give an update once we're in position. Okay, so here we go. I moved up very quickly and Olaf did the same, and he was very quick to lock me out. So he's locked 1 out here, 1 here, and then I managed to get the last move to get round to here. And then yours are kind of all on the hedge line there. So we now need to work out where we're going to do our jump off points from. So we're going to have a chat off camera and then come back and start doing it. Okay, so I go first. So I've just chosen this jump off point, and the 2 closest are those with the patrol markers. So my jump off point, I think I'm going to put here. So it's just out the way. That's 6 inches back and behind cover. And then we can take that off so I know I've done that one. Italians next. Okay, so next up the Italians, and you're going for the centre one?
Yep.
So it has to be inside that triangle, doesn't it?
Yep.
And 6 inches back.
But possibly behind cover as well, wasn't it? 6 inches further away and in the zone. If no cover available, must be placed on the table edge of the zone.
So you could put it behind the cover here, behind the cover of the trees.
I'm going to say behind the trees.
Yeah. Okay, back to the British. Okay, so with the second British one, I've just taken it off of this centre point, and behind cover is going to be here. So that's my second jump off point there. So let's take the marker off and it's back to the Italians. Okay, so next up is your patrol marker there. It comes off the 2 British patrol markers, and that's going to have to be more or less the same place, isn't it?
Table edge, basically.
Yeah, and then it's back to the British. I've got my last one just down here, so let's see what I'm going to do with that. Okay, and then with the British, we've just measured it, and 6 inches back behind cover, I'm going to put the jump off point there. So
I have 1 left as well.
Yep.
And that's basically going to be between that and that one.
So you're looking at the back edge, aren't you?
Back edge, yeah.
So there we go. That is the patrol phase over and done with. We've got jump off points. The 3 British jump off points are, there's one here, and one over there. So they are quite spaced out. I'm a little bit worried about that. Yours are quite close together, aren't they?
Yep.
So you've got the 2 behind the woods or the trees and one just on the board edge there. So there we go. We are all set up with our jump off points. Okay, first up is the British, and as you can see there, I've put Churchill on just to show my force morale is at 10. So let's see what I get. So 2 training command points, which is quite good, takes me up to 3. And then I've got a 2, a 1 and a 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those together to make a 3, and I'm going to bring Jono on, and the other 3 I'm going to bring the junior leader on, Murphy. So they're going to come on next to jump off points within 6 inches. Okay, so here I've put Murphy 6 inches off the jump off point here. I've put the brain team on Overwatch on this side, and then the rifle section are there with Overwatch just covering that side where Olaf's jump off points, but I think there's too many hedges in the way. And then Jono has come on in the courtyard of the farm buildings, and he's just advanced again. There's too many hedges and stuff for it to be a problem, but they are looking to get a good position. So it's over to the Italians.
1s, 2s and 3s.
Very good. Let's work out what Olaf's going to do and come back. Okay, so there we go. Olaf, you've allocated, so you've got an inferior senior leader. You put the dice together to make the 4s, and a junior leader. So you're going to bring those 3 sections on, a lot of LNGs and a lot of firepower, and those Italians are starting to come on.
Nice.
So we go, your first, is this your
Junior
leader with section? So these are the rifles, all coming on quite nicely.
So he comes in within 6 inches.
So this is another one of your inferior senior leaders.
Yep.
With twin LMGs.
And 2 riflemen with him. And that's him. And this last one is going to come in within 6 inches, which is going to put him there.
And this is Grey Wolf coming on last, is it? Yeah, for the Italians.
Right, so
very good. Now I just need to see if I can activate my Overwatch. Oh no, because coming on isn't classed as movement, is it?
nope, I believe not.
There we go. So let's roll back for the British. Okay, back to the British. So let's take that one off. I've got a senior leader, potentially 2 junior leaders and a team. So let's work out what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Grizzly is the sergeant, senior leader is coming on the 4. I'm then going to bring on one of the 2-inch mortars. I'm going to bring on Red Bulls, the section, and then the Jono, the section over here, who's already on the table. I'm going to activate him to get him into a better position so he's not stuck out in the open there. Okay, so first up, I've just brought my mortar on. He's just gone into the wheat field with the stone wall around it to give himself some extra protection. So that's the one used. I don't think he can fire his mortar yet, but we're just going to check the rules. Next up, Jono, I'm going to get him to move, I think. I'm going to do 2d6 and he's going to move across this way. Let's see how far he goes. 4 inches, not ideal, but that'll do. Let's see where he ends up. Okay, so we believe I can fire on deployment. So actually this mortar just has to have line of sight somewhere. So let's see what he can see. I'm going to try and put some mortar shells down. Okay, so there we go. I just put the mortar ranging in marker there, and I'm going to fire some smoke because the British have pretty cool smoke effect. So let's see. I'll roll a 1d6 and we see what happens with the smoke. On a 6, that's going to come in where I want, I believe. So there we go. There's the first bit of smoke from the British. I've moved Jono. Let's see what I'm going to do with the last of my dice. I've got the sergeant coming on and the last section. So Grizzly, the sergeant's coming on and attaching himself to those, and then the last section to come on is going to come on from this jump off point within 6, takes me to there. So let's see where I'm going to go. Okay, there we go. So Red Bull's just come on here, and I'm going to fire at your Italians that are over there. So I do have the Bren gun and the rifles, but I've got one of the rifles. I don't think he can shoot because he'd have to go through the guy in the hedge, and same as this one in the back's got guys in front of him, so these two can't shoot, but I do have 4 rifles and the Bren gun.
Yep.
So let's do that. Okay, so Red Bull is going to order the Bren gun to do concentrated fire. So the Bren gun normally gets 6 dice. I've got 4 rifles that can shoot, so we'll work those out in a second. But with concentrated fire, I get to pick my target, don't I? So they focus fire on one enemy team within, so I get Storm of Steel bonus as well. So Red Bull is going to tell the Bren gun to focus fire on your team that's stuck out in the open.
Yeah.
So that's the 6 dice here. And then I've got 4 rifles with these rifles because the 2 at the back aren't, and they're going to shoot at that whole section there, isn't it? So it'll be spread between the 2. Okay, so we've just measured their all effective range. So the green ones are the LMG focusing on that team, needing 5s. Oh, look at that. That's 4 hits on that team. And then the other ones, the rifles missed altogether. So there are 4 hits on those guys there. Oh, I did score a 6 as well with Bren gun, didn't I? So let's see if I get Storm of Steel. No, so that's still just 4 hits. And then that is a 6 is a wound. And I think the others, they're in the open, aren't they? So that might be 3 pins. There we go, so that team in the open take 3 shock and 1 dead.
Okay.
And I think that's it for me, isn't it? I've done everything.
Right.
The only other thing I have done is my senior leader over there has just put that rifle squad and the Bren gun on Overwatch against the fence. Okay, back to the Italians then. Oh, so 2 chain of command points, that's good. And then 3, 3 and a 2.
Right, I'm going to use some of my chain of command points to regroup these guys into cover so that they're no longer under direct threat from the Bren gun team over there, plus the rifleman there.
Yeah.
Then the other thing I'm going to do with one of my 3s, I'm going to move this junior leader and his lot up.
Yeah.
And then with the other 3 points, I'm going to bring that junior leader and his lot onto the table.
Yes, sounds like a plan. So which one are you doing first?
Well, let's start with the chain of command points that I'm going to use over there.
So I believe that's 3, so you go back down to 1.
So I need to
okay, so we do those ones first.
So I need to roll a
So
d6.
state your intention where you're going.
I need to roll a d6 to see how far I can go, but my intention is to basically regroup behind the hedge as much as I can.
And the shock doesn't count because this isn't a movement, it's
completely
a redeployment.
ignorable.
Oh, 1 inch.
That's not really going to make much of a difference.
No, they just all shuffle on one base, don't they? So there we go, they've just moved the inch across.
That's all of that done.
And you got this squad here. Are they running, moving?
I was thinking of running them as far forward as I possibly can.
3d6, and how far when you say, I guess it'd be up to the hedge, wouldn't it?
Or
so if you go over a hedge, I mean, there's a gap there.
There's a gap there and there's a gap on this side. So theoretically, I just want to get into the road as much as I can.
Okay.
So
roll your 3d6 then.
10, 15.
Very good.
They can all basically get onto the road. And then with my last die, I bring those guys on.
Yep. And another lot of rifles. Okay, there we go. The Italians are coming on in strength.
See.
Right, back to the British. Okay, let's see what the British roll. So 3, so I get a chain of command, that's good. A 6 and a 3. So I am going to order, I'm going to put it on my junior leader there, and I'm going to do exactly the same as what I just did. So he is going to do focus fire with the Bren gun, and then the rifles are going to shoot into your squad, but I'm going to do focus fire on those 3 that you've got still in the open. Okay, so just needing 4s. Again, I've got it's 5s, isn't it, because of the range. So that's 3 hits, 2 on the Bren gun, which is on those guys, and then you're in the cover, so I guess you could put the other one on the other team if you wanted to.
Yep.
So because of the range, it's 5s. So I've got 2 hits on. We'll do the Bren team first. Well, we don't know if it's a pin yet, do we? You need to roll.
Oh, good point.
So if you roll 2 for your LMG team, that's 1 pin or 1 shock. And then on the other team, 5 in cover. So it goes back to the Italians. You've got 4 shock on this team, 1 dead and 1 shock on that team. So they're still in it. They just need their senior leader to pull out the stops. So back to the Italians then.
Right. 3 chain of command points.
Very good. And 2 junior leaders.
Well, the 2 junior leaders are basically just going to keep moving up.
Yeah, don't blame me.
Move up through the hedge and as far forward as they can. As in, that will be Krabacher. And Strutz is going to basically follow and...
Okay, so which one are you doing first?
Right. Well, we start with Krabacher to start.
Yeah. So he's going over a minor obstacle, isn't he? So you'll remove the lowest dice. I presume you're going 2 forward, aren't you? Because you can't do run.
Yeah.
Dog streaming.
It's 3 dice, isn't it? Yes. No, I can't run.
2.
2 dice.
And then remove the lowest to go over the fence, the hedge. Oh.
2 inches. That'll put me literally on the other side of the...
Well, your first rank will. But that's the whole thing. It's a bit tougher of a hedge than they thought it was. Okay, there's Italians in place, and then you're doing a run order with those.
10. Which... put him pretty much
right up the back. So we go, that is the end of the Italian move. Back over to the British then. We're all moving quite fast. The Italians, I think, are trying to outflank me, so let's see what I can do about that. Okay, here we go, British. So 2 5s, so that's another 2. So I've got senior leader and a squad. Okay, so with the 4, I've just brought on Professor Pius. He is a senior leader, so I'm going to get him to do some activations here. First of all, though, I've got the rifle section here. There's 4 guys at the front that can see, and they're just going to shoot at those Italians I was shooting at before. You will have some in cover as well. So again, I'm needing 5s, but it's not going to quite be so good. So the overwatch comes off, and I'm going to fire those 4 shots. 2 hits. And I guess you're going to put 1, it's 1 and 1, isn't it?
Yeah. First one on these guys.
Nothing.
And then one there.
1 shock.
Shock.
Okay, so that's those rifles done here. And then with the senior leader, he's going to get the Bren gun to focus. I presume he can attach himself to them as well. He's going to get the Bren gun to focus on that team again, your LMG, and get the rifles to shoot. So he's going to use 2 points for focusing firepower and get the whole section to fire. Okay, let's fire, needing 5s. And I've got 2 6s with the Brens, 2 5s, so I get to roll those. Ooh, 3 rifles have hit as well. So let's do those as those 2 hits, and I get to re-roll because it's Storm of Steel because they've hit. So 4 hits with the machine gun, 3 with that. So you need 4 on these ones I'm doing focus fire on. That's 1 dead, 1 pin, or 1 shock. One thing we haven't been doing is checking if it's your leader. And then 3 rifles, which would be how you want, but I imagine you put 2 on this one and 1 on that one.
Definitely.
So 2 on the ones, so that's nothing because they're in cover, aren't they? And then 1 that's in the open, nothing. So the rifles did nothing, but now we need to roll for, check your leader, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you've taken a casualty. Okay, so
It's not equal to or less than the number of figures lost for the first one.
yeah, that's what we did earlier. So that guy is still dead, and this one's still dead.
Yeah, it's
So
not the leader.
It's not your leader. So that's good. So because there's 1 casualty, just needed to check, and it was only if you roll a 1 for those 2 different turns. We are on 7 pins between the 2, but you have got 7 guys.
Yeah.
So there we go. That was the British move. I've not quite pinned you. You've got 7 pins across, well, 7 shock across them, and 7 troops. So that's including the leader. So back to you for the Italians.
Okay, let's see what. Double 6.
Oh, that's good. You get double turn, double phase.
Senior leader, and that was 2 ones,
Yeah.
2 singles, which is probably going to be my sniper.
So this is a bit like a free go, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I'm going to bring on my sniper and my
Scout squad.
Scout squad.
Very good.
Scout team, not squad.
Yes.
And senior leader.
Yeah. It's got to be, really, hasn't it?
Yes.
Grey Wolf has got to get some shock off and get them moving a little bit just into cover.
So let's start with that. So since, if memory serves, he is an inferior senior leader.
Okay, so you're going to take a point of shock off down to 4. Very good. And then with your other, because it's an inferior senior leader, he's got 1 more, hasn't he? You're going to get them to move
Forward.
So you have to sort of state your intentions, how far you want to go.
I basically want to get them in cover pretty much
You're doing
over
2d6, are you? Or
Yeah.
2d6, because you've got a few pins, haven't you? So, so I don't think you move, do you? Because they've both got too many pins, and you take 1 pip off per.
Yes.
So he's not. They're all a bit worried.
They're really not going anywhere.
That's good for me, but not so good for you. Yep. So sniper coming in.
Go team on that point.
Okay, which one you do first?
Let's start with the sniper.
Yeah, got him.
Who's going to be there, which is Lucky Ralf.
Yeah. So your sniper team's deployed, and then you're going to move them on.
Yeah. And that's going to be 2 dice, if I think.
Okay, so your sniper team's deploying.
And the other one I said was coming on over there.
Yeah, and that's your scout team.
Scout team, yes.
So there we go, the scout team's on as well. And you had a double face, so you get to roll again.
Let's go for it. Very, very useful.
Oh, a couple of 1s, a 5. So you got,
a single one.
oh yeah, so you got chain of command point. And then let's come back when you've worked out what you're going to do.
First up, I had up on my chain of command dice.
Yep.
Then I'm going to activate Grey Wolf, reduce the
So you can take
pins
a
on
you're going to
here.
take a shock off.
Take the shock off, and move them into cover.
Okay, yeah. So because he's an inferior senior leader, he gets 2 activations, doesn't he? So you
Yep.
can take 1 point of shock off.
Which goes. This one goes to 3.
No,
this
just 1.
Oh, okay. Then we do that.
And then you're going to move. You're going to do a run, are you? Or
Yeah.
So you're doing 3d6 or 2d6?
I'm going to do 3.
Yep.
Purely because that way, if I lose, for every point I drop, I don't lose as
And
much.
do you want to nominate somewhere to stop? So you can't just. So you'd have to sort of say the end of here, or at the tree, or
Halfway along this.
yeah. You need to.
Okay. Well, I'm nominating.
No further than the end.
No further than the end.
Okay. 8, 9, 10, 11, and then
-3 there, wasn't it? So that gives me 8 for these guys.
Yeah.
Which puts him there.
That's it. And they take an extra pin for running. So he's back up to 4, is it? Yeah. And then the other,
By himself.
yeah, just moves up with them. There you go, the Italians are back in cover. Okay, so next up you've got
Next up,
several.
I'm going to take Krabacher over here, and he's going to get his guys to go further forward. No, he's going to bring the ones behind the hedge to that side of the hedge.
Yeah, so you
risking
basically
it.
just move them forward, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, you still have to roll in case you get one. You're doing two because then you move the lowest. Oh, that's ideal. Double six, so you still get to move six. So they basically all jump over, don't they? Because they'll be well in. So there we go. The Italians are making a good push on this flank.
Sniper is the next one up.
Yeah.
And he's just going to go into the...
You still need to roll.
Oh.
I know. It's chain of command, isn't it?
Memory.
Because we play bolt action quite a lot.
7 inches, which is plenty enough to get him... Well, in that case, he's just going to go to the hedge.
Okay. And then you've got the squad on that side.
They are going to just move forward. Normal move. No, do you know what? They're going to run. Also to the hedge.
Okay.
If they can. 7. Yeah, which gets him there. Just slightly shy of the hedge.
So there we go. We think we've done that right, but that was the Italians. If we got it wrong, please don't crucify us. It's our first game. But
no,
let us know, but be nice about it.
We're learning.
So back to the British. Let's see what I get. Okay, so another chain of command point. So that's up to 3, and then I get 4, 4, 3, 2. So okay, so with my first 4, my senior leader is just going to move over here, and he's going to tell the mortar to fire, and I'm going to fire another shell of smoke, I think. Okay, so the mortar is going to look down here and he's going to fire his smoke to there. So let's see what I get on a 4. Let's see where that goes.
4, 6 inches short. Oh, hang on, wait. There's a hit. So where does...
With line of sight. So with the 4, that gives me line of sight there, which goes on target, and then actually I think that all fills in, doesn't it?
Is that, if that gap is 2 inches...
Is it 2 inches?
Yeah.
So yeah, because I've got a British mortar, that is within 6 inches, so that is a continual screen of smoke, which is very nice for me. That takes me down to 1 smoke round there. I'm not going to do anything else with the guy there. I've got the senior officer, I've got 3 and a 2. So on this side, Professor Pius is just going to move out of, I presume he can just detach from them, and he's going to order these guys here to move 2d6 along towards the corner and as far along as I can go. So 2d6, 7 inches. So let's redeploy. Should get me to the edge. So we go. The British have just redeployed there with the 7 inches, and I don't think I can do much else. Oh, actually, because he gets 3, doesn't he? Because he's a senior leader. I could either activate these, or I think, can I still see? Let's have a work out whether I can still see those Italians, because they're up against the hedge on that side. So let's work it out. Okay, so I'm just going to fire the machine gun. I'm going to tell that team to fire. I don't get anything special, but the team closest is still going to be spread across, is up against the hedge, and they're within 2 inches, so I can still see them. So 6 machine gun shots from the Bren team, needing 5s. That is 2 hits, so that's going to be 1 on each.
Okay, 1 on these guys.
Nothing.
1 on the other one.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So I'd have been better off putting them in ambush, wouldn't I? In Overwatch. So there we go. That is, well, I still have a 3 and a 2. So, but they can't fire. So I don't really see I've got a lot left to do because these guys are now in Overwatch, which I want to keep. Or do I redeploy? I'll leave it there. Over to the Italians. Okay, back to the Italians. So you've got 1-6, which is nothing. Point of chain of command. And then you've got 3 and 2 2s, which could be put together to do senior.
Let's see. Okay, 6 which does not. Sorry. We had a 6 which does nothing.
Yeah.
5 which boosted my chain of command points up to 6.
Yeah.
Then I've got 2 2s which I'm using to activate Grey Wolf.
Yeah.
To reduce.
You can take 1 shock off.
1 shock off, and move these guys to as close to behind there as I can to give me more cover. And Krabacher over there is going to move his lot further up towards the bomb crater.
Yep, okay.
So aiming as close to the end of the building.
Which one are you
as I
doing
can.
first?
Well, let's start with Grey Wolf to see what we can do with Grey Wolf. So he's going to take 1 shock off here.
Yep.
Which brings this one down to a 3. And then activate these guys to aim as close behind there as I possibly can, which is 2 dice, which gives me 3 inches of movement for each of the 2. That's that one. There's those.
And then Grey Wolf can move up as well, okay?
Yeah.
Where you want him.
Right, that's Grey Wolf taken care of.
Yep.
Then we said Krabacher is going to get as close to the end of the building as he can using 2 dice.
You probably just need to go around the crater though, wouldn't you? Just
probably to avoid bad terrain. 5, which gives me.
So they're coming, aren't they? These Italians. There we go. The Italians are moving up on the flank, trying to get round and get my jump off points. Will I let him?
And then I
And you
want
got
to
your
use
sniper?
my chain of command point, some of my chain of command points to redeploy the sniper.
Okay, so turn that to 3 then, and then you're going to redeploy him up to 18, isn't it?
Yep. Up to 18 inches, but I'm not allowed to be within 12 inches of the enemy, if memory serves.
Okay, so you're redeploying your sniper, and you said it's
Ralf.
18, so you can get it's an inch or so shy of that, isn't it?
Yep.
I think it's there. Very good.
And that is the Italians all done and dusted.
Nice. So over to the British. Okay, British. Let's see what I get. Okay, some 3s, a 4, a 2, and a 1. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is spend a chain of command point, a whole die. I've got that's 6 gone, and I'm going to remove my jump off point, which I can do 18 inches and 6 inches behind my troops. So let's see where that ends up. So there we go. I've just moved it 18 inches away from those sneaky Italians. So that's the. In fact, that wasn't anything to do that one. So the 1, I'm going to fire my last shell of smoke, and I'm going to pop that there. Oh, actually, can he see? Okay, so change of plan. So with the 3, I'm going to do. He's going to do the command to get the whole section to move back into the wheat field where Grizzly is. So they're probably just going to be able to get up there, aren't they? So let's do 2d6 to get there. And with 6, that should be enough. Okay, so that section's just made it to the edge of the wall. Most of them have made it. It's just a few here haven't, so I'll have to jump over the wall in a minute. So that was that 3. That's done. With the 1, I'm going to bring my sniper on over here. It can be within 12, did we say? There you go. So I'm just going to put the sniper there, which is just 12 inches from this jump off point. Then with the 3 and a 4. So let's... So with the 4, I'm going to activate Grizzly. He's going to do these guys. He's going to order the mortar to fire a smoke shell, and he's going to put one just there, so you should be able to see that. Okay. So let's see if it comes in. 4. So there we go. If it's, because I've got a wall here to look through, and those, it's gone 6 inches short, so it's just ended up there, which is good. It still gives me cover for that section. So that's one of his activations. I don't think there's anything else. These have been, the sniper's moved. There's no one else within that. So that's him done. So with the 3, the Red Bull is going to get these guys to jump over the hedge this side. Oh, no, actually, let's go over here. Murphy's going to put them on Overwatch. So Overwatch for the bring gun on the corner there, and the rifles here facing that way. And I think that's the end of the British turn. Okay, back to the Italians.
Oh,
so you lose the 6, 2 seniors, 2 juniors.
2 juniors and a nothing.
You can move your 4 squads, can't you?
Indeed.
Okay, so Grey Wolf first. He's using both.
Both to get rid of shock.
Yeah.
So that goes down to a 2. And that one also goes down to a 2.
Ah, so you're suddenly in, I've gone from almost getting you broken.
Then Krabacher is going to bring up that team to join his other team there near the hedge, as close to the hedge as they can possibly get.
So they're running, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so 3d6.
Plenty, I think 14.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean 14 inches gets us well.
And with your second command activation, you can take the point of shock off.
There you go.
So they don't get any point of shock. And then you probably want to move Karolak up just behind him, so he's with them. Okay, very good.
Taken care of. Then we said Krabacher over there is going to move forward 2 inches, I think, is all he needs. 2 dice, sorry, not inches.
So is there a point where you're just going to do two dice and see where you end up?
2 dice and see where I end up, but I want to get behind the corner of the barn as far as I can.
4
inches is not a huge
They're shuffling forward. I saw the sniper pop up and thought, oh crikey, there must be something there.
They heard something like that.
Yes. Let's go. The Italians are moving up. A nice rifle squad.
Yeah. Strutz is also going to bring his as far over the hedge as he possibly can.
So you probably just want to run against the hedge, because if you go over the hedge, it's 2d6 minus the lowest.
So he's there's basically 2 dice to get up as close to the hedge as he can.
And a nice long line across the back of it.
5.
Mm.
Not so good, but we can do.
There we go, that's where they've gone. And is that the end of your go? I think it's back over to the British, isn't it? All your dice are off.
Yeah, that's all the dice are off, so yes,
okay,
back
let's
to
see
the British.
What happens next then. Okay, British. So I've got 2 5s, so it takes me back up to 5 here. Not good. I lose the 6, and then I've got 2 3s. So let's see what I'm going to do. Okay, so Jono is going to activate. He is going to tell his group to jump over that wall. So let's see how far they get. I've got a 6 and a 3, so they will easily get over. Grizzly will just shunt up, and I'll stick the brain gun on the end there, and let's see where they end up. So there we go. Jono has managed to get his squad over the wall, facing the right direction, waiting for the Italians to come around that corner, and I'm behind some significant cover, so that should help. And then lastly, I've got Red Bull on this side. I'm going to get them He's going to order them to try and jump over the wall as best as possible. That side, the hedge, sorry, so it's going to be 2d6, taking the lowest one off. So they get 5 inches. So let's see, hopefully I should get most of them over. So there we go, the rifle team managed to get across, but the Bren team are stuck out on the edge of the road there. There we go, back over to the Italians then. Okay, let's see what the Italians get. So there's 1 6. There it goes. And then you got 5, also another chain of command point. And then you got a 2, a 3, and a 4. So senior leader, junior leader, and a team. Or a squad, isn't it? Okay.
So Grey Wolf is just going to use his points to remove shock from each of these, which brings each of these down to a 1 now.
Oh, they're almost back in it, aren't they? They're hidden behind the hedge and...
Grey Wolf doing a great job on this one.
Yeah.
Then we've had a bit of a debate around this. We're not sure. If we've got it wrong, please don't judge us. We're learning the rules, but help us if you know better than we do. We figure that the Italian Rifles are a team because they're led by a junior leader on the army list itself. But because they're not activating the junior leader, just the actual rifles themselves, we figure that they should probably be able to go on a 2.
Yeah, because the 3 would be the junior leader making it a section. So the junior leader would do the whole section.
Yeah.
Because you just want to do part of that section, which
Yeah.
is the team. It's the rifle team within it, is what we're thinking.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to move them forward up against this hedge, right up as far against as they can possibly get. And they're going to use their 2 dice to do that.
Okay.
Hopefully.
5.
Which should get a lot of them close enough. But not necessarily with all the ones that didn't get there the previous round.
Yeah.
So 2 dice get them right up against everyone, right up against the hedge in a nice long line.
Or you could still jump your front ones over, couldn't you? You just take the lower dice off and then the other ones just shuffle up. Because as long as you get a couple, because you're still going to have to jump over anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's try that then. Why not?
So you just take the lowest one off, which is the 1, so you get 6 inches.
Which basically means that
You get
these
over.
4...
Well, I think they'd all go over. So those ones can move 6 inches forward, can't they?
Yeah.
The ones closest. And then the ones behind, how far's the furthest one? Can you get over?
Yeah, that literally puts
Yeah,
in.
so there you go, they get
There.
over.
So he was there, that puts him about there.
Otherwise you'd still be behind the hedge, wouldn't you? And then there's a risk you might not get over next time. There we go, so another rifle squad of Italians coming on the flank. I need my smoke to go now. Now I'm in position.
And that is pretty much everything the Italians can do.
Okay, so it's going to be back to the British. Okay, back to the British. So that goes, I get my chain of command dice back, and then I've got a 2, a 1, and a 4. Okay, so on this side, I'm going to activate the senior leader, and I am going to get him to command this whole section to go head over this way, but they've got to go over the fence, the hedge, so 2d6 taking the lowest off, and it's going to be 3 inches, so they're just going to shuffle along and get over the hedge. Okay, so with the 2, I guess I can put them on Overwatch.
Probably yes.
So I'm just going to do that, and then with the 1, I'm going to try and bring on my second mortar team. So 4, 5, 6, they come on. He does. So let's see where I'm going to put him. Okay, and then I've just brought the second mortar team in there, and I'm going to fire a mortar shell, but a smoke one. Do I want to do a smoke one? Yes, let's have a go. Might as well. And I'm also going to bring a replen in next to this mortar team. So they've got 1 replen point, and that'll give them the 3 smoke again. And these guys here are going to fire a smoke shell into here, maybe. Okay, so I have line of sight for that. So let's roll and see what I get for the smoke. 5. So hopefully that should come in.
Which
There we go.
basically-
That's going to make, if you move the token for us, and then stuff that in there. So I've given you a nice little cloud around the Italians. Okay, back to the Italians. We need to get some action going. Little cat and mouse, 2 chain of command points and 3 senior leaders. So you can only do 2 of them. Okay. But Grey Wolf clearly is going to clear those.
Yeah. That's that. Lovely thing is I've got, that's the other senior leader, and that's all.
Yep, so it's just those 2, isn't it?
These guys are all, he's going to activate and label his guys on Overwatch.
Oh, okay. We've got a standoff, have we?
Pretty much, yes. So that's that. And he's just going to clear the last of the...
Okay, nice and simple. There's a couple of Overwatches.
I think the other thing I'm going to do, my sniper is going to relocate.
Okay, you can use 3 chain of command points.
Got plenty of those.
And where are you moving him to?
I'm going to bring him into the wheat field.
Ooh.
And 18 inches would allow him anywhere up to there. So, lucky Ralf is going to be there.
Very nice. Okay, so Olaf's just remembered he's got a senior leader off table, so he's just brought him on. So we go Mercer. Oh, Mercer. That's come on.
Finally.
Yes, but he does have 3 activations of his senior leader, so you could get the rifle squad there moving.
Yes, he will bring Knispel further up.
Yeah.
And he's going to do a 3 dice run up to the through the gap up to the hedge, and then use what's left to take the pins off.
Okay.
Or shocks off. That's 13.
So has he attached himself to it?
Yeah.
Then, has he? So he's now attached to the rifle if he's going with them.
Brings plenty of space up to there. And these guys are just 6 rifles with no leader, therefore they would normally be a single.
So it looks like the Italians are repositioning. Let's see what the British can do. So 2 5s. I've got to stop rolling 5s with these.
You've got so many points.
6 is no good, and then I've got 2 and the 1. Okay, so starting with the 2, I'm going to fire a smoke round because I love doing this. I don't often play British, and I'm just going to stick the smoke round right there. Let's see what that does. So it is within my visibility, and I get a 5. So that's a nice little puff of smoke blocking your sniper, which is quite important. And then 1 from the sniper, I'm just going to relocate him 2d6 back into the, I want him into the corner of this wheat field here. So that should be more than enough to get him into the corner there. And that was rubbish, but it's all I had the dice for.
18 inches, so it's not 2d6 for him.
Ah, okay, but I do want him to face off against you.
Okay, so
I just want cover.
2
Okay.
ones, a 2, and 2 seniors.
You can add those together to make a 3, so you could have your sniper, a 3, and 2 seniors. Or you could add it all together and do 3 seniors. Okay, Olaf's made his mind up.
Yep, so Strutz is going to bring his unit of riflemen up as close to the corner of the house as possible using 2 dice, avoiding the crater where possible. 2 dice.
A couple of inches, so it just shuffles. They don't like that crater, do they?
No,
I wonder if
think
there's
they're
still a
worried.
ticking bomb in there.
I wonder if they think there's something that happened like Cologne. And his boys to hop over the fence.
Yep, so senior leader activating over the hedge. So 6 inches, that's good.
Which basically puts him
So there we go. The scouts have moved up as well. So a big push on this flank from the Italians, but there's not much shooting going on.
And I think I'm going to use my next 3 points of chain of command dice.
Yeah.
And relocate my sniper again.
Okay.
Get him just this side of the fence.
You can't be within 12 of me though, don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, the 12 inches takes it right to here, so Olaf's changed and he's going to move up and over. Are you hoping to put some more smoke down?
I can only hope and pray, but
Exactly.
I can't tell you.
We've got loads of mortars and loads of smoke. Right, back to the British then. Okay, British, let's see what I get. So, another chain of command point. That's a nothing, a 3, 2, and a 1. Okay, I'm going to put the 3 and the 1 together to do 4 to activate Grizzly. He's going to tell the sniper to shoot at your sniper.
You can only do that if you spot my sniper firing.
Okay, so with the 1, I'm going to put my sniper on Overwatch because I can't snipe your sniper apparently. So he's going to go on Overwatch. That's the 1 done. With the 3, Red Bull is going to tell his guys to run up and take position on a defensive line on this side of the fence. Okay, so 3d6 right up to the hedge. I probably only needed 2 there, but there we go. 11, 14. Let's see where I end up, and I'll take a 1 point of shock off. So there we go, and then with the 2 I can't really do anything, so over to the Italians.
Six does nothing, 5 gives me a chain of command. Who's going to get his guys to run up towards the fence that way, and then
3d6. Because you get 2, don't you? So you can so you can take a point of shock off when you get there.
So he's going to do 3d6 and take a point of shock off, but he's going to stop them short of the fence so that they're not immediately a target.
Then you'll have to say like the corner of the building, because you have to pick something that's clearly visible.
And I'll take the corner of the building, which means I just need to do 2 dice.
Yeah.
And Mercer is going to activate.
Okay, should we do Krabacher first?
Okay.
Because then you've got Mercer that's going to activate those 2, isn't he? But let's get him moving. 5.
Which will probably get
Should
most
do,
of them near there.
Well, get the front guy there, won't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just what we needed. So there we go. Krabacher's just moved up. He's got to the corner slowly, and then you've got Mercer is going to activate the 2 squads each side, isn't he? And get them to move because he's the senior leader.
So they're going to go forward by 3 and remove the point from them, and they're just going to go for the building as well. So 3 dice for these guys.
And where are they going
It's
to?
11 inches, like I said, also to the corner.
Okay, because you're going to go into these guys, aren't you?
Yeah, I did say they're just going to avoid the crater previously, so they're basically just going to swing around.
Yeah, but you have to go the full 11.
Do you?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
So if you go to the corner of the building, where does that take you? The front guy? Yeah, see, that's the trouble. You're gonna, but they're all going to be crammed up here, but that's fine. They're just, I mean, it's not like we've got 8 chief and bolt action coming in or anything. Just remember which one's which.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
6 then.
So you're going to have a huge bunch of Italians. This is where I need some kind of missile that can take them out. And again, 9 inches, that'll get you right to the corner again. So they're all fighting for the corner. Could have done with a medium machine gun here, couldn't I?
Yeah. Okay, and that is the Italians done.
Okay, over to the British. Let's see what I can get. Oh, another 6, another 5. I want to... anyway. Right, so, and then I've got a 1, a 3, and a 1. Okay, this game's going on quite long. I was going to activate my senior leader here and just get everything to move back, but we need to get some stuff going on. So I'm going to activate Professor Pius. He is going to get this unit here to jump over the fence, the hedge, so 2d6. Taking the lowest one off, so 6 inches, and they're going to move up, and I'm going to do the same with these guys who are going to move forward this way. We're just going to have to take the fight to you. So let's see what happens with them as well. 4, so they'll go 3. So let's work out where they end up. So there we go. He's just removed the pointer shock that was on this rifle squad. They've managed to move 3 inches up to here, and then this section have moved 6 inches up to there. So there we go. I can't do anything with the 1, so it's back to the Italians.
Three threes,
Yeah.
a 2 and a 1. So he's going to activate the two sets of rifles.
But you got 2
Yeah,
junior
I'm
leaders
just
here
thinking
that can
about
do
that.
anyway.
He's just going to separate from there, but the 2 individual rifle units
Okay.
are going to head
Let's
over
get going then.
towards the smoke there.
So who's going first?
Well, it's got to be Krabacher
Okay. Just
to
2
get
d6
his
or
out
3.
of the way. Just 2d6 and
Okay.
actually no, 3 and remove a pip.
So that's
13.
13 inches. That's going to get you down here into the smoke, isn't it?
Yep. Which is exactly what I said. Oh, 13. He is also just going to come to the corner of the fence.
Yep.
But he's not going to go within 2 inches of the fence.
I don't think you can say
Oh,
that. There has
okay.
to be a specific point that you can...
Okay, corner of the fence then.
Okay.
2
2d6.
dice.
Okay. 10. Should be
That's
enough.
plenty. 9 inches brings him to the corner of the fence. And all his friends tag along behind. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's right. That's that gone. Then Knispel is going to bring his guys back around this corner.
Yeah.
2 dice. 7, which is that?
Back to the British then, is it?
It is back to the British.
Superb. Let's see what I get. And I still haven't had a double turn. So that's the 6 off. I've got 2 3s, a 4 and a 2. So let's see what that's going to be. Okay, so with my first 3 here, I'm going to get these guys to hop over the fence and try and start to get an align against this hedgerow here. So taking the lowest, so I get to move 5. Let's see where I end up. So there we go, the 5 inches just allowed me to push forward and up against the side of that hedge. So that's the 3. I did think about going on Overwatch, but if the smoke goes on an end turn, the Overwatch does as well. Then Red Bull is going to go into this stuff here. Or do I? Let's have a think. Okay, so I'm going to do 2d6. I can't run, but I'm going to lose a pip per dice, and I'm going to move in. So that's 5 down to 3, which is absolutely rubbish. So there we go, that was with 1 of his activations. I don't think we're doing 4 of each other, are we? And again, there's not much point putting them on Overwatch. So that's his turn, and then down here I've got 4. So Grizzly is going to now fire an HE shell. I did think about putting more smoke there and then reorganising along this line. But I think you're just going to keep playing cat and mouse with me. But anyway, let's do a shell of HE. In fact, Okay, so Grizzly is going to activate. He is going to get the machine gunners, and he's going to do the focus fire. But this whole section here is going to fire on your guys there, and I'm going to fire the mortar with an HE shell. So let's do those machine gunners first. You are going to have some soft cover, but let's see where they shoot. Okay, so I've got 6 from the Bren gun and 6 from the rifle shooting into the Italians. Some of those are going to be closer than 18, aren't they? Okay, so they are close range, so it's going to be 4s. So they've missed. There's 1 from the rifles. The rifle shooting's rubbish. I've got 2 from the Bren, 3 from the Bren, but that gets to re-roll again. That's the 3 for the 6 because it's the Storm of Steel. But so it's 3 plus 1. So that is 4 hits onto Strutz. And that is just a pin, shock, point of shock, which is absolutely rubbish. Okay, so this mortar is going to fire HE at these guys here. I do have line of sight, so it's just needing 4s, isn't it?
Yep.
1 hit on a 5. So it's like you've been in the open, no effect. That just about sums it up, doesn't it? And then that's it. That's the British done, I do believe. So over to you.
Right, let's see what the Italians can get up to. 6, which does nothing. 5, which gives me chain of command die.
We both want the smoke to go now. So you've got 3, 2 and a 2. So it could be a senior leader and a junior leader. Okay, so which are you going to do first? You've given Mercer, senior leader, 2 2s together to make a 4. And then junior leader on this side.
Yep. So Krabacher over there is going to advance through the smoke and fire at the first opportunity.
Okay, so you probably won't be able to because depending on how you advance, you'd need to do tactical, wouldn't you, or something similar? So which reduces you can. I think you can move 1d6 and fire half effect, but half of your squad's probably still going to be in smoke. But you can try it.
I'm going to try that. And
okay, so 1d6 if you're going to fire.
Yep.
3 inches. So there we go. The squad is pretty much in the smoke, which is, I mean, you might have one guy that can shoot, but the rest of the squad seem to be, I mean, they're quite safe as well, though, aren't they? Which is probably a bonus. Everyone in the smoke. And then you've got Mercer, who probably is still in range of these or within range of those. So you've got...
Well, Mercer is basically going to get
Strutz
to move forward.
How far are you going? What are they aiming for?
I'm going to basically have them run along the side of the fence
Okay.
as far as they can go with 2 dice.
Yeah. You do realise if we go within 4 inches, it initiates close assault. Let's do it. 6 inches.
Not enough for that, is it?
I think it will be. So we've just noticed there's a shock marker, which means you could only go 5 inches along, which is just outside the 4 by millimetres. But you're in a good position because I think you were going to tell me about your special rule the Italians have.
What is this? Hand grenades in close combat.
Yeah.
So
the
that
Germans.
could be...
Yeah. Well, you just reminded me about hand grenades. Thanks. Okay, British, and if there's ever a time I need a double turn, it's now. Come on, double 6. You'll never believe it.
I won't. I don't.
Double 6. So excellent. I needed that.
Sounds correct.
Okay, so Jono is going to get these 2 guys on the end. He's going to use his 2 points of command. He's going to attach himself to the rifle and he's going to chuck 2 grenades at these guys. So it's 2d6, is it?
Yeah.
So the first grenade, 4 inches. Oh, that's probably not enough, is it?
It's not inches.
Okay, so that first one misses because they're just outside 4 inches. We know that already. And then the second one, 7. That will hit.
Yep.
Okay.
So the hand grenade effects. 1 hit is caused for each firepower dice.
Okay, so 1 grenade, I've got 3 to hit you on. That sounds like 1 hit because I've got 2 2s and a 5.
3, which is a pin, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yeah, it's just point of shock, which is absolutely rubbish. So that's the 3 done. And then the 1 is this mortar is going to fire at those guys using another of my HE shots. Okay, so the mortar is 3. Oh, so I get 1. Oh, so no, they all hit, don't they? But you get Storm of Steel as well, so that's 6 goes again. So it's going to be 3 hits. And it's reduced cover, but you're in the open anyway, aren't you? So it's 1 dead, I think, and that's it. So we put a guy down at the back. You need to check if it's your leader.
Nope.
No, so it's just 1 dead.
Okay.
And that was the 1. And I've got 2 here. So I'm going to activate this squad, and I'm just going to get them 2d6 to go across the ploughed field, losing a pip per dice. That's 8. So that'll be down to 6. So we go, the rifle section has just finished there, and that's the end of my go. But I did have double turn, which was my first time. So let's see if I can get that again. Be nice to get another 2 6s, but I doubt it will. Is that a 5, do you think?
That's a 5, yeah.
Yeah. So another point of shock. Not point of shock, another
Commander.
yeah, command point. So I'm up to 11 on that. So that's that one. And then I've got a 2, 3, and a 1. Let's work out what I'm going to do. Okay, so with my 2, I've just activated these rifles. The one at the back can't shoot, but these 5 here we think can. So it's close range, and it's a 4s. So 1 miss. So that's 4 over to you. Oh, that's 3 dead with 3 6s. You don't have a leader attached to those, do you?
Nope.
Which
That's
is
just a name that we
very
gave him.
fortunate for you.
It's just a name that we gave him because we don't have sufficient. I'll
Yeah.
just take the next.
Okay, so that was the 2, and then I've put these together to the 4. And what I was going to do was detach him from those guys, activate this team here with one of them, but I'm going to do the mortar first with the last HE shell firing into these.
Okay.
So that's going to be 3 HE shots, 2 hit. So you're firing at these guys. So 1 dead. Is it your leader? That's close, but no, it's not. So that's 1 dead.
And
So that was one of his commands. And that takes that down, but I do have the replen, which has got 3 in. So that's 1. And I'm going to activate this unit, and I can't decide whether to shoot or just to do a half of. Yes, I'm just going to shoot. So he's just going to get them all to shoot at these guys here that will get cover because of the fence.
Yep.
Okay, so I've got 6 from the Bren and 6 from the rifles. Needed 4 because they're close. 1, 2, 3. Not great. 3 hits. And you can split them if they've got different teams on there. Oh, another 2 dead. But that could be your leader, so check your leader. Oh no, just 1 dice. And you roll a 1 or 2 as your leader.
Yeah, so it's
Okay, so there's another 2 dead. I presume I'm going to take them from the back. Still no
Of
pins
course.
on it though. And I think that's it for me there, isn't it?
I think so.
Because that's all I can do. So he's got those to fire. He's got that to fire, and that's it. Back to the Italians.
A 6 which does nothing.
2 senior leaders. Ooh.
Who are both over there. Or I can.
You do have your junior leader.
Mercer is standing around.
Or
doing
Strutz
nothing.
if you want to do your charge. If you don't, that's fine also. Because you've got definitely two senior leaders, and then your sniper, and or you could make up 3 seniors. I don't think you got 3. There you have. You got.
I've got 3 senior
Yeah.
leaders, 2 of them here and 1 over there. Mercer is the closest one I've got. Does that unit.
Yeah, so he's within 9. So
He can do it. So he's going to order them to charge.
okay, and I'm going to do an interrupt.
Okay.
I use a point of my chain of command, and I'm actually gonna so point of chain of command to interrupt, so I get to fire before you move.
Okay.
So it's pretty much what I did before. 6 and 6, just needing 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a bit better. So 7 hits on your Strutz. So that's 1 dead, and is that 2 or 4 shock? Let's check, but it's definitely 1 dead. Okay, so the 4 and the 5s, because they're in light cover, are going to be shock. So he's up to 6 shock, and you're going to have 1 dead, and you need to check if it's your leader.
No.
No. But you're on 6 shock. Okay, so 6 shock.
Okay, so what was the next thing then? So that's my charge that goes in,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Do I?
If you well, you need to move. I mean, what you probably, because he's a senior leader, what you probably could have done is taken 2 points of shock off, and then activated them to move forward. Because you want to get within 4, is what you're saying, isn't it? So take 2 off. So if we can make that 6 down to a 4, and then they can then move forward, but you're going to lose your 4 from your movement, aren't you? So what are you doing? You're just moving forward, are you? 2d6 because you want to take your piece. You just need to get within 4.
Charge.
If you want to charge, you're on charge, do you?
Yeah.
Just need to get within 4 then.
So
2d6.
I don't need to roll, do I?
You do. So 9 minus 4.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Which puts us right in contact because we said it's just over 4.
Yep. I don't think it's per dice, is it? Pin shock per.
I don't think so either.
No.
But
So there we go. So now what we do is add up what we've got.
But I am going to read out the Italian rule.
Yep.
When he uses 2 command initiatives, he may lead a charge against the enemy within 12, preceded by a hail of grenades.
So you would have to take your 2 pins back, wouldn't you, to be able to do that?
Yes.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so he's back up to 6 pins.
He
Shock.
needs to be with them, I guess.
What did you roll for your distance to run?
9.
Okay, so you still would have been in there because that would have been 3 inches, so at least it goes up.
So
He's not attached to them though, is he? The
No.
senior leader. Or is he?
we didn't say he's attached, no.
Okay. So they go running in with a hail of grenades, do they? What's the rule on that then?
So, roll a 1d6, subtracting 1 if the enemy is in light cover, 2 if in hard cover.
You're in light cover.
On a roll of 1 or 2, 1 grenade has hit the target unit, 3 or 4, 2, 5 and 6, 3 grenades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what we get.
1.
1 grenade. Roll for effect.
So that's
And the
3.
team may then move up with 3d6 to initiate close combat. Well, we've just done that.
Yeah, so you roll for effect for the grenades, that's 3d6. So that's 1. And then I try and see what it does to me. Nothing. Okay, and then we have to work out close combat. So let's work out what that is. Okay, so we've just worked out the dice based on the number of troops in the combat and the factors. And because you're quite heavily pinned and charging against me with defence, I've got my NCO with an SMG. We haven't taken the LMG into account. But you've only got 3 dice, haven't you?
Yep.
And I've got about 10. So let's work out what we need. Okay, the Italians.
Shall I re-roll that one?
I would say yeah, because it's quite. Well, unless you want to have the 5, I don't mind this.
Yep.
So how many? So you haven't got any.
Nothing.
This might be short-lived.
Very possible.
Unless we said it was a 5, but. And then these are the British. So I've got 1, 2 6s and 2 5s. So not a great roll by me either.
Okay, well, 2 kills. Let's see whether or not that.
So they're automatically kills, aren't they?
Yes.
So we just need to work out who wins. Okay, so you've got 2 dead. So you need to check your leader with 1 dice. It's not, so that's fine. So you've got 2 dead. Do you want to take the 2 front ones
Yeah,
off?
go on.
So that's 2 dead plus 2 pins shock, which takes you up to 8. And then you've lost by 2.
Yep.
So you're defeated by 2. You have to
9 inches directly away from the enemy.
add 1 point of shock for each losing team. So it takes you up to 9.
And I'll move 9 inches back.
Yes. Okay, so this puts Olaf's Italians on 9 shock with 4 guys. So that's more than double. So you become broken. So you need to go 2d6 plus 6 away from me, ignoring everything apart from, so 12, 15.
15 away.
So 15 inches away. And you have to take a morale check for being broken. Okay, and then you have to take a morale. Okay, so section wiped out.
Yep, and it's a d6. 1, which is basically equivalent to minus 1 point.
Very good. It's not much at all, is it? Okay. Did you have anything else?
No.
So is it back to the British?
Back to the British. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that is because everything else is junior leaders, so there are 3s, all my 4s over there, there's nothing else.
Okay, let's see what I get. Oh, I get a double turn again. 2 5s. Oh, that's just for 1, isn't it?
Another chain command point.
You do. And I get 2 for the 5s, and I get a 3. So the 3. Okay.
But we still haven't had a single 666.
No. So with the 3, Murphy is just going to get these guys to move along. He's just going to get them to form a line up to the edge of the tree here. So I'll do 2d6, but that's all they need. They only need 1d6 really. But the smoke's still there for effect. And then all of these will just shuffle along. So they're in place, ready for when the smoke does come off. So it's Murphy's go. So that's 1, and I guess I could put someone on Overwatch. Rude not to. Bring gun on Overwatch, just in case. So that was the 3, and that was it. So that was my first of my double goes. Let's see what happens next. So that's another point, takes it up to 3. And then I've got a 3, 3, and a 1. Okay, with the 4, I am going to activate, in fact, yeah, with the 4, I'm going to activate senior leader here. He's just going to get the brain gun to go here, but I do need to roll for that. Just 2d6 through the field, 8, that should get them there. So I've just repositioned the brain gun here. That's for 1. Okay, so the brain gun's moved there. I'm then going to activate this unit here to fire their 6 rifle shots at your Mercer. He is behind cover, so you're going to get a cover save, but I've got 6 rifle shots. I think it's just 4s because of the range. I don't have any 4s anyway, it's 5, so that's 5 hits. So he is behind cover, so you've got 5 goes, I believe. And I guess it's just 6s, he doesn't take shock, does he? So it's only 6s. So it's 2 6s. Does that mean he's dead, or do you roll for, because that means it is 2 kills, isn't it? He's got to be dead.
Well, I'm looking for it.
Okay, so that was 2 kills, but you are within 4 inches of this unit, so that's either going to be 2 kills on these. So roll to check if it's your leader. On a 1 or a 2, it is the leader. So it's 1 dead and the leader. So let's
Which
do a
leader
result.
is it, though?
Yes.
Because
So
I've got a junior leader in there.
yeah, go on then. So what do you want to do? 1, 2, 3. It's the junior. 4, 5, 6 is
Yeah.
the senior. It's the senior. That's typical. So there should be a chart to say what happens to him.
What page was that?
Okay, so let's find out what happens to the leader. 3, he is stunned. So we've got a target for that. A little token, haven't we?
6 is
Okay, so let's
-2.
check bad things happen. 5 or 6.
-2.
-2 takes you down to 5, so you're right on the edge. And it's still my turn, isn't it? So
Yeah.
before I finish my turn, I'm going to spend a point of chain of command. I've got a dice. I'm going to spend a whole dice to end the turn. So all the smoke comes off. All the overwatch comes off. And I think your team over there are going to have to test because they're broken. Okay, so end of turn, all stunned leaders. Yep.
All smoke other than mortar bombardments and smoke barrages is removed. We've done
Yeah.
that. Any mortar bombardments or smoke barrages lose 1 round of ammunition, no problem. All tactical, overwatch and suppressing fire markers are removed. We've done that. Jump off points which are captured are removed and a forced morale test occurs. We've not had that happen.
No.
Pinned and broken units are checked and their status amended where necessary. So that would be, I've got to make a check for.
So that, I think that means, had you have reduced his shock, you could then go from being broken to pinned or to back to normal. But I think you have to do a test there, don't you, on your... So we just have to find out what broken.
That's under the bad things happen, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So there are broken, section breaks are wiped out. 1, 2, 3 is a 1 point. 4, 5, 6 is 2.
That's 1 point, which takes you to 4.
Which I think is it.
Yes. So I think
the last.
it's just a British infantry only because
Yeah,
the
but
time
at
that went on.
The Italians went in and
They
attempted
did.
close combat.
They did. I've positioned all my troops up here. We'll have a quick debrief and then we'll finish because it's been quite a long game trying to learn the rules. Okay, so a victory for the British just about. I think we spent quite a long time playing cat and mouse, didn't we? Moving around, me putting smoke down, moving around. One of the things I have said about Chain of Command is it's quite slow on the movement, which you kind of get if the two forces are up against each other. You don't want to be running around, jumping over fences willy-nilly, do you? So, fortunately, you took the initiative here to move forward, which kind of cost you the
Somebody
game.
had to.
I know. The Italians look so strong. There's so many guns in their arsenal.
The problem comes in the Italians have inferior senior leaders.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff wasn't going my way with the die rolls. That said, I still think the Italians have a good potential for.
Yeah, so I think the Italians are quite a viable force. I do like the Germans. I don't normally play British, so it's quite interesting for me to do that. I like the replen points, which are away from the jump-off points, but yeah, I think the Italians look quite good. I do want to play some more Germans, though.
Yep.
But yeah, it was very much a learning game for us here. And I did say that actually Olaf had a chain of command dice. He could have either the senior leader or the team that just checked at the end. He could have spent that point of that chain of command dice to not taken the test just to keep him in it. But as we said, we've been playing this quite a while, trying to look up the rules as we go. So. But I enjoyed it. It was a long game, just because the amount of looking up we had to do because of our inexperience. But hopefully we'll get quicker and we'll get some more games in. I think we're going to try and work through the basic games, aren't we, just to learn the rules.
Well, this was one of the basic games. I think the big problem is just we're both playing too cautiously. I think given that it's a patrol, we should have been a little bit more eager to get to grips. You were throwing smoke down to stop me moving forward, and I was being cautious and not trying to go through the smoke. I could have probably gone through the smoke here.
Yeah, see, I just put the smoke down to screen so I could get into a better position, but it kind of halted you. But anyway, yeah, it was good fun. Hopefully you at home enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. If we made mistakes, please be kind, but let us know because we're just learning. We want to play more of these battles. It's all a learning game and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And we shall see you all again soon. Take care.